Hi everyone, I am Dr.V. Sivakamy, Assistant Professor, MBA Department from SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Ramapuram, Chennai. Today we are going to see about crowdfunding in India. Where are we? Actually speaking, crowdfunding, this is the buzzword everywhere. Why there is so much of buzz around this? What is it all about? And that is what we are going to see today. See, if you see this crowdfunding, the origin of it, it is not a new concept for India. It's all what we started, our forefathers started it. Usually the history states back to freedom fighting situation where our Bharatiyar, he started this campaign whereby he collected amount from each and every one to start his own newspaper. That is how this concept of crowdfunding came. Its concept is very simple, where to start a new venture or to start something new, you need a corpus big amount. So wherein they're starting collecting amount from each and everyone. Small amount of contribution is being collected from everyone, and with that money, they start their own venture. This is all about crowdfunding. So that is what we are going to see today. Yes, here it is. Crowdfunding is the use of small amounts of capital from a large number of individuals to finance a new business. It is very easy nowadays because everyone are connected with a network. So without this network, this crowdfunding is a question mark. So with the technology has taken the business people to a next level wherein they find the sources across the globe. That is how the crowdfunding platform business has started it. Instead of asking a few people for a large sum of money, it asked a large number of people, each for a small sum of money to finance their big dream. So this is a platform where entrepreneurs and the investors, they come together for a common venture, and once the business is being succeeded, the profit is being shared. So this is the concept behind the basic behind the crowdfunding. So how is it doing now? The today's scenario, if you see, the global crowdfunding industry, it generated about 34.4 billion in the capital last year alone. In India, is now the world's second largest internet market with more than 342 million mobile users and online payment options that makes it easy for to collect the money. This is the statement given by the Bloomberg, one of the successful crowdfund platform. So how is it all started? How far it is different from crowdsourcing? Actually, the parent is crowdsourcing where, especially if you see the US companies, they outsource Indian IT people. So that is the crowdsourcing, where the job is given to so many people elsewhere across the globe and the job is being done. The same concept is used here in crowdfunding also, where finance is being collected from across globe and the funding is done and the business is being done. So that is how the donors providing amount to the business elsewhere and nobody knows who's the donor, who's the investor. That is the myth behind the crowdfunding. If you see the various examples, how it all started. So the crowdfunding platform, it was launched in 2008 after its co-founder could not find a meaningful way to help the Hurricane Katrina. So Give Forward, this is one of the crowdfunding platform which started in 2008 and 2010. They started collecting money for the personal as well as medical use. So many people are suffering from medical ailments and their treatment is very heavy, they are not able to bear. So to give a helping hand from them, Give Forward is one platform which started in 2010 and they took this particular crowdfunding to a new dimension. Another successful platform in India is Kickstarter. Kickstarter, usually they fund creative projects. So many people, students especially, they are with the novel ideas, but they don't know where to get finance for them. So such a creative projects, when they approach these platforms, and especially making a short movies, games, or it could be writing a novel, the cost can be anything. So Kickstarter is doing that right now. More than 50,000 creative projects they are funding. And what are the ways they do? How in India it is being carried on. So if you see the different types, actually crowdfunding basically started with a donation based. Donation based is where as a volunteer you are donating to somebody's project. There is no return. Return is not there, just a donation. So nothing is expected in return. So the next type is debt crowdfunding, where it is similar to peer-to-peer lending. So the money is donated by the investors across the globe, whereas for in return, the entrepreneurs or the project owners, they'll giving a share in their profit in the form of interest. So usually it is for a short term and a deadline is being fixed. Whereas another way is rewards. Rewards is where it is not a mandatory that all the crowdfunding has to have give a return to the donors, but reward is where it is up to the entrepreneurs who can share their profit, or it could be they can give us, say for example, it is for a short movie, they can give a premiere ticket to them. If it is an album, if it is a book, they can, as a gift, they can give to their investors. It is a token of appreciation they give back to the investors. That is where the reward crowdfunding is working. And equity crowdfunding. This is one of the area which all the corporate houses are looking for, because just like equity participation, investors across the globe, they take part in your business in the form of equity. But right now in India, SEBI is in they are framing the regulations. There is no such legal formalities to safeguard the investor. So right now it is not legally allowed to deal with equity crowdfunding. Whereas in abroad countries and Western countries, it is being dealt. So in India, crowdfunding, especially equity crowdfunding, is in the nation stage. Regulations are being in the discussion with SEBI. RBI is yet to approve it. So if you see in this particular slide, this gives the many examples of various crowdfunding platforms in India. So Indiegogo, Start 51, Milab, Fuel a Dream, Impact Guru, Catapult, Wishberry, Keto, Crowdera. These are all the various crowdfunding agencies in India helping the business houses to mobilize funds. Not only business houses, it can be, as I told you, the cost can be anything. It can be a societal cause where NGO are taking or collecting money for their social cause. Same way, parents collecting money for their children for their medical purpose, or it could be for a educational purpose. So the purpose can be, the cause can be anything. So how is this modality and who are all involved in this crowdfunding and how is this process goes on? So that's what we'll see. Here 3 parties are involved. One is project campaigner or otherwise the entrepreneur, who is ready with some sort of an idea or some need is there. You need not be an entrepreneur or a campaigner who is ready with some cause for money collection. Next one is the mediator, is nothing but the website platformer. That means the crowdfunding platformer is the middleman, and the third party is the crowd or the investor. We'll see one by one. So this is how the process goes. Usually, as an entrepreneur or a campaigner, you have some need for collecting money. So you have an idea. With that particular idea, it can be a medical cause or it can be a social cause or it can be a business plan, business project. So you have to put everything in the form of a project, an attractive one, wherein your profile is being added on, and you have to showcase or you have to say what is the need for this particular project, why you are coming for a funding, what is the necessity, because of this, who is going to benefit. Okay, so you have to showcase all the details and put it in the form of a campaigning. Next, your content will be taken by the editorial board in the crowdfunding platform. They, as per according to suiting to the needs, they do campaigning, and that will be hosted in their website. Once it is been published in their website, whoever is joining with that particular platform or anybody else who is visiting that particular platform will know so and so is asking for some amount for this particular cause. So if they are interested, they will donate it. There will be a donate button and you can donate. The amount can be anything, right from rupee 1 to 1000 or to 1 crore, whatever the case may be. It's up to you and the campaigning. So once the payment is through, whatever the money collected, that will be settled to the campaigner. So it is more or less a transparent process wherein the campaigner will be at each and every stage. They'll be knowing how many amount is collected, how much of amount is collected, how many days it is been left. Say for example, you are set a target deadline for money collection for a period of 1 month. So within that particular 1 month, each and every day you can just note down, or it will be visible to you how much of amount is collected. So there is no hidden thing, everything is transparent. Once this has been shared, so your friends and relatives, when they are contributing, and finally the amount will be transferred to your account. So everything is done legally. So usually a formal agreement will be signed between the campaigner and the platformer, wherein all the legal formalities will be mentioned, and what is the financial charge. That is much important. Each and every crowdfunding platform, they'll be charging certain amount for their as a commission, for their business as a commission. So this is the charge as per right now it is in India. Say for example, personal fundraising sites ranges from 7% to 12%. Some organizations charge the credit card processing fee to the donor. Others, they'll go into the organization service charge, and the right side you could see a small window where the various charges by different crowdfunding platforms has been given. Say for example, Fundstellar, they charge 0% commission, whereas Millap 5%, Impact Group 5%, Keto, BitGiving and Wishberry. Wishberry is topped by charging 10% fees. So this is how the platforms, they collect amount. So this particular slide, it shows how, say for example, this is from GoFundMe, where I have given you 3 scenarios, where the first one, it's about Lehi UT. So it is for a child, the mother is raising the fund. So far, out of $75,000, that is the target. So far, she has raised $21,726 so far. Okay, so still the amount has to be collected, only then she can take care of her kids' medical treatment. The second cause, the second scenario is where it's for an animal shelter. It's for a social cause wherein their target is $10,000, whereas they have raised $8,165. The third scenario, it's about the pet, Matilda. It's again, 2,000 is the set target, whereas they have raised more than the target. They have raised around $7,068. So there are donors who, as per their interest, they will give. This is another scenario wherein first one is for a helping hand to support Ms. Sharwari for her treatment. Okay, totally 657 supporters are there, 13 days are left. This is today's scenario. The second scenario is for supporting the education of the girls. It is from a rural area wherein 10 lakh is been the target. So far 6,59,000 is raised. So totally 9 supporters are there and 41 days are still more to go. Same way, the third one is about donating to the inmate. So this is how you can see how much of amount is collected and what is the, how many supporters are there, how much days are left. So you need to know how much campaign you have to do. So accordingly, you can go for a vigorous marketing, or your campaigning can be made more vigorous. And apart from the financial charges, you do have a final charge wherein once the project is successfully done, which means a project is successful only when it has collected the set target. Only then you can say it is a successful project. When it is successfully done, 5% of the fee is the total fund is collected as a final charge. So this is how the platforms vary from company to company. So you have to read between the final print, whatever is given, company to company or platform to platform, this particular charge varies. So you have to sit with the platform campaigners, and the platform people have to sit together, discuss what are the terms and conditions. So this is all about the process, and now we'll see about what are the benefits, the pros and cons of going for a crowdfunding platforms. See, the main advantages is little risk. The financial risk is less, meaning the investors are going to contribute as negligible as they want. So financially, they don't, even if there is no return, it does not be a big deal for them. Whereas for the campaigner, from each one a small amount is collected. At the end of the deadline, there are going to be a big corpus amount. So financial risk is very, very less here. The increased brand awareness. This becomes a brand campaign for your project, because with the help of the platform, crowdfunding platform, your project is being advertised, your project is being, awareness is created among so many people, and they go through and they do have interest in you. They are waiting, investors are waiting to see what is the success of your project. So this way, word of mouth as well as the website, internet is playing a big role in creating awareness for you. So that's the way it is a free marketing. And moreover, it's just like a test marketing. You are going to test your project whether it is going to be successful or not. This is the first stage where you get to know whether the project is going to be successful. If you have collected the entire target amount with the set deadline, which means your project is successful and you can go ahead. If the amount is not collected, there is some flaw in your project, you can refine it, and once again you can float your project. So this way you will know what is wrong and where is wrong, and you can take a next step. So coming to the drawbacks, crowdfunding requires large amount of time and effort. Yes, you have to wait for a long time till it reaches each and every investor around the world, so the amount is collected. Just like that, you cannot collect a huge amount within a overnight. It is not a kid's play. So you have to wait for a long time. An oversaturated market, meaning there are many n number of crowdfunding platforms around the world. Each and every country are having each and every platform or marketing some sort of a project around the world. So investors, their inbox, or whenever they visit the social media platform, it is being crowded with so many projects. So that is one saturation takes place, and people might not be interested in you. So your campaigning has to be in such a way that you are overruling the other campaigns. So that way you have to be very careful in it. And potential for no to little gain, meaning once they invest, you are getting a profit. Otherwise, there is a question mark, because it is not sure how far you are going to raise. So either gain or no gain. And scams are more likely because nobody knows who's contributing. So there is no, even though transparency is there, there are chances for a false campaigner. Not every campaigning is a genuine. So just to collect money, people may come up with a flowery or a decorated or a created, duplicated campaigning. So you might not know which is genuine, to whom you are contributing. So there are chances. You have to be utmost careful in choosing the platform as well as donating the fund. Otherwise, you will fall prey for these particular scams. So this particular slide tells you the potential risk. Apart from seeing the various disadvantages, there are few risks you have to be much careful. As already told you, there is no guarantee that you will reach the target. Even though you can wait till the deadline, even though you can refine your project, again you can go for a second floating. But still, there is no guarantee that your project will collect the set amount. So this is one of the number one risks you have to encounter. Then your intellectual property becomes public. Yes, this is especially So this particular point is suiting, especially when the project is all about creativity. Say for example, you are floating a project for short film. So your work, your novel, you're writing a book, or you're composing an album. So your work becomes public now. So intellectual property rights, it is nowhere here. They don't find any place here. It becomes a public property now. Underestimating the cost, especially when it comes for equity share, equity crowdfunding, this particular underestimating of cash takes place. Problems with platform. Yes, nobody knows whether the platform is a genuine one. Just like a campaigning may not be a genuine one, platforms may also fall under this particular category. So the investor had to be very much careful in, you have to study which platform you are visiting and to whom you are donating. Both has to be taken into consideration. Only then these potential risks you can avoid. So to conclude, there's definitely no doubt as crowdfunding is evolving over time and more ventures are being aware, and it is at the same time there has to be concrete regulations, and SEBI and RBI is working on it. And here a systematic approach has to be taken when it comes to scalability of such crowdfunding platforms. More stringent regulations has to be brought in. Government of India is coming up with various schemes under Startup India program. Especially crowdfunding is becoming one of the sources for new startups. Thus, crowdfunding becomes most viable option, and it can be concluded that crowdfunding will accelerate and create a better impact in terms of growth to the new ventures in India. Thank you.